This week I'm baking the Stout Gingerbread by Ruby Tandoh from her book Crumb. This is such a good autumnal cake. You know what? Any cake. And it's really flavourful, super simple. It's something I always bake. And even though I usually do half amounts, for this one it's very much a full amount and I eat the entire cake. It's which makes it sound like terrible eating an entire cake, but it's very, very Moorish and light and full of flavour, so highly recommend it, and super simple too. You don't need any special ingredients. So let's get started. First up, you melt unsalted butter with, you can either use light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. I will link the recipe down below. It's online, or obviously you can find it in her book, but I used dark brown sugar really to kind of bring out that treacly depth to it, and it's meant to have stout in it, but she says you can substitute milk, and I've done that most of the time and it works really well. And I'm adding treacle, just normal black treacle, and I've dipped my spoon into boiling water to try and help it come off a bit. Don't know if it really worked, but then that will all go onto a low heat, and then while that's melting together on the hob, I'm grating some fresh ginger. It's about a 5 centimetre piece, and I'm just using microplane, just the finest one I have, and getting that to a nice good pulp. And then once the butter, sugar and treacle have all kind of melted together a bit, you add in the grated ginger, getting every last bit in there. I love how dark and unctuous the liquid looks. It's kind of it's perfect for Halloween, isn't it, really? Or autumn, anytime. So I'm mixing that together, and the smell is incredible. And then once that's all nicely mixed in, this is where you'd add either the stout, so something like Guinness, or for me, I use milk, and I don't even buy whole milk, especially just use my normal semi-skimmed that I have in my tea. Nothing fancy, so that gets added. How beautiful is it? Milk being added to a treacle mixture. And I give that a good mix together, and then I whisk in the egg. And I do it quite immediately just because there's still some heat in the pan, and it's never scrambled or anything, but just want to make sure that doesn't happen. So I give that a good combine. And then I put it to one side and I weigh out the dry ingredients, which is just some plain flour. Not much. It's actually quite a small cake batter. Maybe that's why I can eat the entire cake in one sitting. And then a couple of teaspoons of ground ginger, some bicarbonate of soda, and some salt, and then I give that a rough mix together. And then you just whisk in the wet ingredients. I think even before I've just dumped the whole lot into the pan and mixed it all there, but I thought I'd follow the actual recipe today. Why not? Push the boat out. So give that a good mix together, just so there's no lumps or no streaks of flour, and then it will go into the cake pan. And once it's in the pan, a lined pan, this is a 20 centimetre pan, it will go in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes on a 160 fan oven, and then that's it. There's no icing, there's nothing else. So yeah. And here it is, straight out of the oven. It took 25 minutes at 160 degrees fan temperature. Smells incredible. I'm going to let it cool in the tin for a bit before unmoulding. But you can see there's a little skewer marks that came out with no crumbs attached, and really nice even bake, and super easy, super simple, super delicious. The recipe's linked below, so let me know if you bake it, and I'll see you next time.